to another video. Today we have a massive project. By massive, I mean like massive. It is bigger than me. And no, today, it's not for this bad boy. The project we have today is right behind me, and it's actually a bit of a surprise this time. It's not for my Jeep, not for me. This project is for my dad. He has one of the coolest trucks. These things came from the factory with massive axles, lockers, front and rear, 4-link coil spring suspension. And if you haven't figured out what I'm talking about yet, this is a RAM Power Wagon. Even though this thing comes from the factory pretty much ready to go, there's still quite a few things that are missing before it is actually ready for an off-road adventure vehicle. So we're trying to set up this truck to be the ultimate overlanding rig for him to go out on trails when he doesn't necessarily need something super serious like his TJ build that he has. So today's project is 100% geared towards that. We're going to try and make this thing into the ultimate overlanding rig. Speaking of overlanding, if you're like me, you also have a little overlanding buddy. This is my 1-year-old Bohemian Shepherd, Rekka. Come on, buddy. When you're out on adventures away from home, safety is the #1 priority for you and your dog. That's why I started using this e-collar from Jugbo. We've been working on training recall with this collar, and the 3/4 mile range is perfect for all my outdoor adventures. With 8 beat frequencies, 15 vibrate frequencies, and 100 shock frequencies, although I personally prefer the beep and vibrate. It's really easy to fine-tune the right stimulation for your dog. Jugbo is the reason I'll feel confident bringing Rekka out on the trails with me. So if you want one of these for yourself, check out the link at the bottom of the screen or go to my description and use my code to save some money. Thanks Jugbo for sponsoring this video, and let's get back to building this truck. Well, I just stepped outside for like half a second, and because it's a blizzard out there now. Yeah, it was just like 55 here yesterday. Welcome to Michigan.
I don't care about nothing, I already got hits. Kinda hard to be a rapper when rapping is what it is. Boys dropping out of college to open a colleges. Only thing I really want is my baby and 2 kids. But don't think I don't got a plan, I promise we got one. A low-key shade, nothing new to a godson. So RIP Goose, they don't know about the Top Guns and looking like Shaq when we put out the hot one.
So unfortunately, looks like we have some shipping damage on here. We got some denting here, chipping of the metal. These brackets are kind of bent. All right, so I just finished opening all the parts, and luckily it seems like the worst of the damage is a few of those bent brackets, but then unfortunately there is some scratched paint on the outside of one of the panels, which means it's gonna be visible once installed. And the downside is this is a textured powder coat, so I can't just use a regular spray paint. I do luckily have some of this spray-on bed liner from Duplicolor, and so this is obviously gonna be a textured black. So if this is a close match, let's go ahead and try that, see if everything looks good. And my dad's gonna be here soon, so let's see if we can get this thing ready to go so we can show him just a bit. All right, guys, I lied. It's the next day, and it is horrible out today. But my dad is on his way. He's gonna be here any minute now. I'm back out in the shop. I'm ready to get this thing going. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it is absolutely downpouring outside. It's actually so humid today. Look at my Jeep sitting in the garage. This thing is literally soaked. It's that humid out. Luckily we have a shop. We're covered, insulated, should be totally fine. I'm excited to do this project finally, so I'll update you guys when he gets here and see what he thinks of what we got.
I don't care about nothing, I already got hits. Kinda hard to be a rapper when rapping is what it is. Boys dropping out of college to open a colleges. Only thing I really want is my baby and 2 kids. But don't think I don't got a plan, I promise we got one. A low-key shade, nothing new to a godson. So RIP Goose, they don't know about the Top Guns and looking like Shaq when we put out the hot ones.
All right, we got the truck into the pole barn. You know what you're here to do today?
Thought we were gonna wash and wax.
Well, it's wet enough for that with all this rain, but no.
You're gonna help me mount these.
I haven't even shown them those yet.
Do you think they'll fit without trimming?
Honestly, they probably would. These are 37s, by the way. No. Those are for me. Ugh. In all this rain, what would you do if you're laying down in here? What's going to keep you dry?
One of those little martini umbrellas?
No, think bigger. Like this.
A topper.
Heck yeah. Check this out. All right, let's just start putting it together. I promise it'll look better when it's done.
The entire install process of this is actually super simple and straightforward. I mean, every panel can only go in one spot. So with just the two of us, we decided it was best to just build it right there on the truck to save the hassle of lifting this whole thing onto the truck after the fact. Every panel is sealed with black RTV and they were all soaking wet from the humidity, so we decided to run the pellet stove, and this helped a ton. We did have to go back and readjust a lot of the panels because up on the top corners we were getting daylight through, so we kind of had to go back and loosen everything, cram everything together as tight as possible, and tighten everything back down and fill the little gaps with more RTV. The only thing we really changed is these covers for the latches were all put on facing forward, which the wind would clearly whip these things open on the road, so we flipped those around to be facing backwards on both sides.
Alright guys, this thing is sweet. We finished it up in the pole barn the other day, and we brought it out into the woods to get some of the beauty shots, we'll call it. Pretty awesome day today. We have a lot of flooding out here. Water is running all over the place. We're gonna do some playing in the woods too and do a little bit of wheeling and show you what this truck is capable of, at least what we can do out on our own property. But let's take a closer look at what we did.
Bruce Lee with the kick, y'all looking loose leaf in the mix. I don't need groupies, get the pig. Now I'm on 2, 3 and a 5. Feeling like Bruce Lee with the kick, y'all looking loose leaf in the mix. I don't need groupies, get the pig. Now I'm on 2, 3 and a 5. Dinner with her, enemies, run it back, penalty, set it tail, running me. Now I got a remedy, sitting with her, enemies, run it back, penalty, set it tail.
So we have all the doors open. This has gull wings on both sides, and then obviously the rear hatch opens up. In here, we switched it up a little bit. My dad ordered these clamps off from Amazon, and I'm glad he did because the supplied brackets for this, they are basically too long or just not designed correctly for this truck, so they don't actually clamp. Under here, it doesn't actually touch the bottom. So we have those clamped on, but we ended up just doing all 4 corners to be safe, but everything else is held on with these, and this actually sucks it down tight like we want and make sure we got a good watertight seal here. For the light that this came with, we attached it on the back. Usually we would put it up in the top middle here, but what we found is there's really no way to secure it to those rails unless you have some sort of adhesive. So since we only used 4 of these brackets, modified a couple and bolted up here. So now we have a secure point to attach this light, and with it being back here, you actually can't see it at all when you're standing at the back of the truck, and it lights up the whole front and the rest of the bed. And then conveniently, to power the light, back in these Power Wagons, they have a 115 volt AC outlet. So what we did temporarily for testing purposes, this is basically just AC to DC adapter that you would have to charge any sort of battery powered device, and cut and splice the wires into this harness for the light. And then right here we have touch controls, so just touching it changes colors, and then you can click and hold to adjust brightness. So now we got max brightness. It's not going to show super well in here because it's way too bright, but that's how we have that rigged up for right now, and it seems to be working pretty good. other than the fact that this control seems to be a little finicky, but it seems to do the trick for now. And one other cool feature that I want to show is this new design has a handy step here. It comes pre-equipped with these roof rails up here. I guess not pre-equipped, you have to install them obviously, but nice roof rails that mount up top. Then this is also reinforced on the inside, and then it's bolted through. There's bolts on both sides if you want to swap this over to the other side, or if you can somehow get a second step, have them on both sides. So obviously I'm not a big guy, but this thing is pretty sturdy. Now that everything is assembled, there's no flex in this whatsoever. For anyone out there that's planning on throwing a rooftop tent on one of these, this would be perfect for it. All right, now that we're all done, obviously this was a surprise for your truck. Now that everything is fully assembled and you actually know what it looks like and it's not in a pile of parts sitting in my shop, what do you think?
Well, I didn't know if I would like it at first because I'm used to the old roll-up bed cover, tonneau cover. Now that it's on here, it took me a while to get used to it, but it's actually very cool, kind of, I don't know, Mad Maxy with all the crazy angles, not like your normal fiberglass topper.
Yeah.
And then knowing how heavy duty it's built, I think it adds quite a bit of character to the truck. It looks pretty cool. And then on top of that, I ended up actually having to haul stuff a couple weeks ago that with this topper gave me access all the way around. And because the bed cover is obviously the height of the top of the bed, this gives me an extra 20 inches more storage in there. So it's come in very handy, and I think it's gonna be very useful long term.
I think it's pretty sweet. Every time I look at his truck now, I'm just like, man, that thing looks so much cooler. I mean, this is already a pretty sweet looking truck just from the factory. I mean, it's about as off-road package as you can get for these trucks. And this really just brings it to a whole new level. It actually starts to look like it's being built and used for off-road rather than just going to buy a RAM Power Wagon. And then what he's talking about, all the extra room in there, I can sit up in there perfectly fine, and I have probably 8 inches of headroom in there. So he's talking about wanting to camp in this someday. He's got the bed rug in there, so it's like already super cozy in there. You don't even really have to worry too much about mattress pads. So I think this is going to be so awesome for something like that, and I'm pretty happy that everything we put together for it, and he likes it, so that's a win in my book.
And on top of that, I was waiting for the warranty to be done so I could actually go do fun stuff with it. Now the warranty's off, so here we go.
And then also, I should give a huge shout out to OpenRoad 4-wheel drive. They're the ones that sent this out. We had some issues with shipping, and I showed you all of that, but they've been super cool. They've been dealing with me and getting everything sorted and sending me replacement panels to kind of fix anything that has been damaged on it. So definitely check out OpenRoad 4-wheel drive if you want to get one of these for yourself. I'll have a discount code in the description or at the bottom of the screen right here. Click the link in the description and check these out. Get one for yourself. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. pretty muddy. Once you're out of the mud pit, I think it'll just drive up.
What?
I think once you're out of this mud pit, it'll just drive up.
Well, I'm at 60 PSI too.
Oh yeah, that's true. That sounds sweet. We know it would go up this if he was willing to take a run at it, but if you look closely, this is the bank, that's his tire. This is the bank, that's his tire. And when you get up here, we have a log sticking out, which, if you've seen previous videos, I have ran into that in my Jeep. And then he is also at highway pressure in that truck still. So he's at like 60 PSI on those tires, trying to do a slimy, muddy hill climb, which, I mean, we all know that is not ideal for these conditions. So, well, we tried.
Really gang, we blowing like propane. Playing King of Sam Hill, you end up like Cobain. On Warner, it's no game, but Russell, it's no thing. Those who open at the curtain see through the pain. But I can't see you if you can't see me. I don't play my part and I pay my fees. But to win this game, gotta play your piece. If it ain't direct, don't make no scene. If life is a movie, I just pick my co-star. Don't know how